Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world, one small act at a time. This time on the Kindness Project, Sweet 16 writes in, and we have the best interviews of 2019, part 1.
Welcome to the Kindness Project!
How many sweeteners you put in your tea? Because that was very lively. Three sweeteners.
It's a bit of a late night recording.
It's a 3 sweeteners kind of day, isn't it?
It's a 5 sweeteners kind of day.
Oh, right. What day do you need 5 sweeteners in a tea? You know what? Russ, our esteemed editor, has a very unhealthy sugar habit. I reckon I've seen him put like 5 or 6 sugars in his tea. That's more sugar than tea, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is more sugar than tea.
The thing is that I don't use sugar because I use sweeteners.
Yeah, that's a bit better.
They're better.
Yeah, they are better. Oh, you going somewhere?
No, I need you to introduce me while I let the dog in.
Oh, right, okay. And I'm hosted, as per usual, and you can hear the dog jingling in the background. It sounded quite festive as the dog went past.
Yeah, well, this is a festive episode.
Exactly. He had a bell round his neck. He's feeling festive. But I am joined by a girl who is now super, not so sweet, but still lovely anyway, 16 years of age.
Ooh,
it's Charlotte Dames.
Yes, that happened yesterday.
Yeah, you do remember when your 16th birthday is, don't you?
I spent a lot of time in bed today.
Yeah. How come?
Because I was up until gone midnight last night.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to sleep it off, and then I got up and I had lunch. And then I went back upstairs.
To
and
be
I got
a teenager
really distracted.
again. To be a teenager. To be 16 again when you can get up at lunchtime.
Oh, I shouldn't have, because I've still got a mountain of homework to do.
Oh no,
Hey.
I know. But the how does it feel being 16?
No different.
No different.
No
It doesn't.
different,
It
no.
doesn't. You know what? I think age is a strange concept because I don't feel any different. I don't think I feel any different to when I was younger.
I think the thing is, because
I hopefully know a bit more, but
I think the thing is with aging and yourself, you don't really notice it happening because it happens so gradually.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you know someone, you see them grow up and you don't really notice them changing, but then you see someone for the first time years. And suddenly, whoa! they were shorter than me last time I saw them.
How'd you go? Like, they're walking down the street, you're walking the other direction, they come close and you realise, oh, that's Steve, and then you just go, whoa!
Steve!
Steve, what you been up to, Steve?
Looking good, Steve!
Barry and Beryl, how you doing?
Oh, it's been a while since we broke them out of the box, isn't it?
Don't talk about boxes. We went to see a musical yesterday, son, didn't we?
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about Jamie.
Yes.
Which is a great story, true story,
Yes.
about a teenage boy who wanted to be a drag queen. And apparently drag queens have got boxes for every part of their outfit, including fake
Boobies.
And I didn't realise. And there was a line in it, and it was to do with the fake booby box, which I thought was quite funny.
I also
I've never thought about a booby box before, but now I know.
I also liked when he walked into the drag shop and it was like, yeah, I was gonna call it the tuck shop, and I was done.
That was a good line. That was a good line. So yeah, if you get the opportunity to go and watch, there's everybody's talking about Jamie. Please do. It's on at the Apollo Theatre.
Yes.
But
we're not plugging.
we're not.
We're not paid.
Other
we
musicals.
just enjoyed it.
Oh, can we get some sponsorship from musicals? That'd be.
Oh my god.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
I mean,
that'd be good.
I'm pretty sure Dreamgirls finished up a little while
Yeah.
back.
Other musicals are available. The Lion King,
Hamilton,
which we've seen.
Come From Away, I think is the one with the giant planet.
That's the new one that's out. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. So, let's talk Christmas. What are you looking forward to for Christmas?
a bit of a mystery, isn't it?
Sorry, are you trying to communicate with dolphins there? I mean, what are you looking forward to for Christmas? You just went.
Well, I've decided that other than celebrating Christmas, I'm also going to celebrate my time off with work. I'm revising, and I'm going to bury myself in my writing because I haven't been doing enough of it, because with how much studying I'm doing, it's all my brain can think about at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
get some writing done.
Get some writing done while my brain's not in that mindset, because it used to be so easy to write, but now it's like I sit down to write and my brain goes, you should be doing homework, you should be revising.
Yeah.
What do you know? What do you know about this? What do you know about that?
But sometimes you need the break, don't you?
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to just.
But I'm finding it very hard to get that break because my brain's telling me that I shouldn't be doing this thing.
Look, Charlotte, if you want to write, darling, you write. You're putting enough studying at the minute, and you will continue to. I know that to get the results you want.
I mean, I even had the first chapter checked out by 2 of my English teachers.
What did they say?
One of them said that it was good, and there was one tiny mistake in it. One of them said that she didn't expect the plot twist at the end of the chapter.
Oh, good. Mm-hmm. Plot twist at the end of the chapter?
Yeah, it was the first chapter.
So you're doing a plot twist at the end of every chapter?
No. It was the reveal of the main plot of the story. And she said that the romance element, which I introduced at the end of the first chapter, was unexpected.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Back to Christmas.
Yeah.
Apart from you trying to focus on work and writing, what else is going on in your life? What do you want for Christmas? What does a 16-year-old want for Christmas apart from a bank statement?
Oh, that was brilliant.
We did give you a bank statement for Christmas with a bit of cash in.
And that was for my birthday. What do I want for Christmas? I would like a solid night's sleep. Yep.
Oh, I dream of a solid night's sleep. Can I just have my own
sleep when I actually have a solid night's sleep?
Can I just have my own body weight in Stollen? Can I just have that as a? You know what? Because we had some people round for your birthday yesterday evening, and I ended up having about 40 minutes conversation with Anne, who's a friend of my wife and Charlotte's mum, dear listeners.
She's my friend too.
And we all love Anne. We think Anne is an absolute legend.
She's a superstar.
But we'd ended up having about a 40-minute conversation where we just basically named food. And we were just like, Stollen, After Eights, Ferrero Rochers. And you know all that food that you only eat at Christmas time? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, Terry's chocolate orange.
But it was all sweet stuff. But I'll tell you what we decided. Turkish Delight needs to be put in the bin.
Yes,
I don't know anybody who likes Turkish Delight.
I thought you were going to hype it up there, and I was like, no, I'm not having it.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
I'm not having it.
No, I'm not hyping up Turkish Delight.
I have a friend, and once a week she goes to the shop before school and gets herself some chocolate to eat throughout the day as a treat. And the other week she walked in with a Terry's chocolate orange, and I was just like, you're sharing me.
Did you lose the power to speak when you saw a Terry's chocolate orange? Whoa, Terry's chocolate orange.
Is this
the wonder of the Terry's chocolate orange?
And she agrees with my
sentiment. It's not Terry's, it's Charlotte's.
And she agrees with my sentiment that it's not a Christmas without a Terry's chocolate orange.
Is Terry's chocolate orange a Christmas food?
You can't buy them any other time.
Oh, right, okay. I know After Eights are, aren't they? Yeah. I don't know.
But you can buy After Eights at different times.
Can you?
I think so. But you can't buy Terry's chocolate orange outside of the Christmas period, so November, December.
Fair enough. I didn't know that. Listeners, if you want to get in touch with... Oh, I don't know what happened with my voice now. I was thinking about the Terry's chocolate orange. If you'd like to get in touch with us, Charlotte is going to share with you how you can do that.
You're right.
You are. All right, mate. All right. Do you want to give us a tinkle? Yeah, do that, darling.
No, we don't have a phone number. No, we ain't that posh, mate. No, we got an email. Ola@thekindnessproject.co.uk. Yeah, it's big, I know. Massive. We've got a Twitter.
You know when I said to you at the start, get a bit excited? I think you're taking it a step too far.
We've got a Twitter. At Honour Kindness.
H-H-O-L-A.
H included.
Have you ever seen the film Batteries Not Included?
No.
If I made a film I'd about you, I'd just say...
H is not included.
Yeah, H is not included.
We have Facebook, and you just Google us. Change, it didn't flicker.
All right, okay. So you can find us on Facebook.
Here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, we're at The Kindness Project. You can log on the website, www.thekindnessproject.co.uk. And we have completed now, Charlotte. This is episode 101. So we have completed 101 podcasts. Dalmatians for your listening delectation. That made no sense.
Well, the episodes are a bit spotty.
And you can get them on Spotify. We're on episode 101. And you can get them on Dalmatian coloured Spotify. Right, okay, so...
I've never seen a green Dalmatian, have you?
A green Dalmatian.
That's the Spotify colour.
It is the Spotify colour. So yeah, you can find us all over. The back catalogue, all of the Kindness Project back catalogue is available at www.thekindnessproject.co.uk. You can buy merch. You can find out more about us. And if you like listening to the Kindness Project, I'd like to make 2020 the biggest year we've ever had. We had an amazing 2019, but if you can help us make just extend our little project of positivity that's turned into a bit of a monster, even bigger than Godzilla.
We've seen Godzilla. Godzilla's pretty big.
He's big. Then feel free to share the love.
Ooh.
Tell somebody about the Kindness Project.
Also, I'd like to mention, if this is episode 101, 3 more episodes and we are at our 2-year mark.
High five.
Hey.
It's a time of celebration.
Yeah.
And on that note, should we get on with the show?
Let's do it.
So, this time we are having a best of show.
Ooh.
For our 101st.
Isn't that exciting?
We have got loads and loads and loads of interviews that we recorded in 2019.
Yeah.
From amazing, interesting
Fab people.
Who just shared their stories with us. And what we'd like to do is have as is traditional in the Christmas and festive period.
We are giving these snippets to you.
Free. I mean, you don't pay for it anyway, but it's even freer than normal because it's going to be full of goodness. So
and packed tightly together and more accessible.
Give it a listen.
Hey.
Hi Joe, hi Nick, how are you?
Yes, thank you. Good, thank you.
Good stuff. Thanks for coming on the Kindness Project. We really appreciate it, and I know that our listeners are gonna really enjoy you telling us your story. So, just as a start off, tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, the Chief Executive, Financial Planning.
Yeah.
Financial Planning. Yes, the 18.
Yep.
The years. Flemings, Barclays, good stuff. The Joe, her wife.
Yep.
Joa, and Reese, and Beck, children.
Yep.
Labradors, 2. 4. They're goldfish.
Four goldfish as well.
Goldfish.
Yeah. How old are the kids?
Oh, they're 24.
Okay.
22.
Okay.
21.
Okay, fair enough. And how did you cope with I've got a teenager at the minute, Charlotte, who hosts the podcast with me. How did you cope with the teenage years?
Oh, well, yes. Yeah, well, Gemma, little,
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah.
back, Reese, good fun.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. And tell us a little bit about you, Joe.
Yeah, so, well, Nick and I have been married for 30, what is it? He's written it here, 35 years. Yeah, met at school. So yeah, I've worked in financial services pretty much all my life. So
Okay.
Moved to Sun Life in 1987, which has gone through its fourth acquisition. So I'm now Aviva.
Okay.
So I work as a program director for Aviva, so I can basically be deployed on any type of program. So at the moment I'm doing a digitisation program for our corporate business, which is around corporate employers, pensions and our sort of health clients.
Okay, fair enough. Tell me about the dogs, because we've got a dog and he's allowed on the sofa. And every person I ask has a different opinion on this. Some dogs are allowed on the sofa and some dogs certainly aren't. Are your dogs allowed on the sofa?
Yes.
They are. They're part of the family, right?
They're not allowed, exactly, they're not allowed upstairs.
Okay.
But they're allowed on the sofas, and they have a sofa for their own bed, that's what they have.
Fair enough, that makes sense. So I know that Nick, you went through a stroke situation a couple of years ago, but tell us your story and why you chose to support the Stroke Association in particular.
Yeah, there 6 years ago,
Yeah.
the stroke advisor,
Yeah.
the stroke, well, brains, their heart, their stroke.
He had arrhythmia. So
Yeah.
it sent a blood clot up to his brain.
So from the heart to the brain.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So fundraising, good fundraising. Yeah.
Yeah. And what made you choose? Because I imagine there's a number of stroke charities, right? So what made you choose the Stroke Association particularly?
Well, the stroke group, the support
Yeah.
group, Louisa Stones, the help, the good help.
Yeah. Great stuff. And what do people get wrong about people who have suffered a stroke? What are the common misconceptions you sometimes face?
Well, young,
Yeah.
they're babies,
Yeah.
the 40, 50
Yeah. Yeah.
work. Goodness me, speech, no speech.
Yeah.
The blood pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, people don't realise that high blood pressure could lead to a stroke.
Okay. You know what? It's one of my. I've got to agree with that. It's one of my. It's like my version of pampering. Going to my local Turkish barbers and having a. I could shave myself. Obviously, I've got no problem with that. But just going to a Turkish barbers and getting a haircut and shave, I always come out feeling a bit better.
Really,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Most of my mates enjoyed it, and I thought, our service users are going to be no different.
Yeah, right.
At the time when we were really struggling in getting chaps to come to our service on the day of release from prison, and that can be the most risky time for people. You generally get released from prison with 46 quid in your pocket and very little else.
Yeah.
You've gone from having actually the structure of a prison environment to be booted out the door and told to go to this appointment, and we found that a lot of people weren't coming, and that was really concerning, because certainly if people had previously been heroin dependent, if they'd just gone out and used immediately after being released from prison, they really run the risk of overdosing and potentially, passing away. So we had to think creatively about how we could encourage these chaps to come into our service on the day of release.
Okay.
So, I'd go to the prison and say, support with all the other things going on in your life. But actually, on top of all that, you'll also get a haircut or a clean shave. And you know, over time we saw more and more people coming in, and that to me proved that, you know, just by some small incentives, we could encourage people to make more positive choices about their behaviour. Now over time, you know, with Holly and her team and other people across the organisation, we've since expanded the capital card scheme to include a whole range of companies that are now invested in the scheme, and you know, the outcomes are really quite fantastic. So
and all from a barber shop haircut, eh? That sounds like quite a good expansion.
Absolutely, yeah. It's funny how those things happen, but yeah, you know, inspired by a Tesco club card and a free haircut.
Yeah.
You know, you can make miracles happen.
And I'd imagine part of a fundraiser's role is to empower people to do their own thing to spot.
Do you know what? When I came into fundraising, I was probably very naive.
Okay.
8 years on, I've learnt the techniques, and I guess people would class me now as a professional fundraiser.
Yeah.
Because you go on to courses and you learn this and you learn that.
What was your biggest surprise about professional fundraising?
The capabilities, really.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter whether somebody does £1 or whether they do £100,000.
Yeah.
It's getting people to think about what that donation does to a local charity.
Yeah.
Because the national charities can reach out nationally.
Yeah.
Okay.
And still get the majority of donations,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
So what happens is the amount that some of the charities spend on their advertising, which you see on your television every night or on your radio, the amount they're spending would keep our hospice running for a year or 2 years. It's just, but it's a balance, and that's why it's understanding local charity.
And what's been the fundraising idea that's been the most bizarre, or the one that you're most proud of?
I don't know about most proud of, but I can tell you bizarre. It really partnering up with my DJ events.
Yeah.
Going back to soul music, I started an event 9 years ago now called It's Like Candy.
Okay.
The reason it was called that is because you play a lot of the 80s soul tracks by bands like Cameo.
Yeah.
And they've got a track called Candy.
Yeah.
And some 10 years ago, the dance routine that goes with Candy was gathering momentum.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So everywhere I was going, doing all these little parties, netball presentations, and the first year 7 people knew the dance, and the next year 17 people knew it. And this was going on everywhere. So when I started this event, I thought, that's what I'm going to call it. So I did that. Well, this event now is 4 times a year.
Gotcha.
And it's been running for 9
Where'd you
years.
hold it?
Well, funny enough, we moved this year. We've been holding it. We started at Dagenham Redbridge Football Club.
Okay.
Then it went to the Millhouse Social Club in the A13.
Yeah.
And now it's moving this June to the Manor Hotel, which is the old Berwick Manor.
I know we were.
So there's that. So going back to that, there are people that have been attending that event for years.
Yeah.
And a really good friend of ours, she won't mind me naming her, by the name of Jill Wallace. Her father was sick.
Okay.
He got cared for by the hospice and he passed away at the hospice. And she really wanted to give something back. It's that same story each time. And she came to me, and she'd been involved previously in her working role at Dagenham Redbridge Football Club. She said, Andy, I've got this idea. She said, I'm going to get as many people as I can to do the candy dance on the pitch.
Love it.
But then it became complicated with the football club because we had to wait till the end of the season because of being on the pitch. It was a tremendous day. Just a lot of fun.
Amazing.
And
anyone on the pitch?
oh God, do you know, I wouldn't, a couple of hundred I would say.
Okay.
A couple of hundred. But it was...
I'm now going to have to YouTube the candy dance, because obviously I'd ask you to do it, but it doesn't really work on a
No,
podcast.
not on. No. It's funny, going back to what I was saying about, you know, when I was starting it 9 years ago and it was gathering, 7 people might know it, and a year later 17 people might know it. When myself and my partner dropped this song at our events, you've got 200 plus people doing it.
Love it. What's the best piece of advice you've ever had?
There's a lot. There's a lot I've been given. I guess there's a phrase that I heard once that really stuck with me, and that was, I'm probably quoting it badly, it was a Chinese proverb. A bit of fragrance always clings to the hand that gives you roses.
Okay.
It really stuck with me. I've got it on a picture on the wall in my bathroom, because this just means obviously you can't give something to someone, can't give kindness to somebody without a little bit of it staying with you.
I like it a lot. What's the worst movie you've ever seen?
Oh, Highlander.
What, the original one?
I don't know, my husband made me watch this film a couple of weeks ago, and he was raving about it. It's like the best film from my childhood ever. So I think maybe it'd been built up too much. I don't think I'd watched about 20 minutes.
See, I don't know whether I saw it years ago and I remember enjoying it, but I don't know whether it's one of those things where it's tainted with nostalgia, so you're good. Yeah, but I did show Sophie the Goonies the other day. Have you
We watched that recently.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, isn't it? So we watched the Goonies. So she's 7 and she felt it was quite violent, funny enough, because there are elements in it that are, but I loved it. I sat there watching it all the way through. What's your favourite app?
Favourite app? The one that I use all the time at the moment it's called Think Dirty.
Okay.
It sounds really awful, but it's not pornographic.
Jamie, this is a family podcast. What does Think Dirty do?
You scan products and it tells you if they're toxic or good for you. I scan like all of I'm having a bit of a clear out of all of my makeup products and products with have less chemicals in the house, and you scan a product and it rates it for you and tells you.
Oh, I like it a lot. And
That's not very fun app, is it?
no, it's not fun, but it's useful all the same. It's all good. And my last one is last two actually, the two recent ones. Who would you swap lives with for a week?
One of my children. Ooh.
I know. The kids have great amounts of fun, don't they? What one would you choose?
Honestly, I think my daughter. I'd swap lives with my daughter for a week. 'Cause I really would like to. She's at an age where I feel like I'm losing a bit of connection with her, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I would really like to live from her perspective for a bit. I think it would make me a much better mum.
Yeah, no, sounds like a really good answer. And last one, if you could do any job for a day and have the skills and the knowledge and the attributes to do it really well, but you only do it for a day, what job would you choose?
I don't know what job this is, but the people who do free diving, where you just go down under the water for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Whatever job it is, I'd like to do that.
So without any scuba equipment, without any, just sort of as deep as you can, right?
I think it would be amazing, but I definitely don't have the temperament to do it.
Gotcha. Are you a diver then? Is that why you do that?
No, I just like to be, I think. But I was brought up in Australia. I just think about sharks all the time whenever I'm in the water.
I had the opportunity, years ago I was in South Africa, I had the opportunity to go shark diving, and I lost my nerve, and I sort of regret doing that now, because I would have loved to do that, but it can stay on the list for a future year.
My husband went shark diving, and he has a lot of scars on his torso from his operations.
Okay.
He was there, and somebody asked him, because obviously he was getting undressed to do shark diving, and some tourists were there and asked him where he got his scars from, and he said last time the cage did.
Oh God! Yeah, was it somebody waiting to go in the cage? Because potentially that had put me off a bit. Yeah. Don't worry, they don't bite that hard. It's fine. Jamie, thank you so much for coming on and chatting to us at the Kindness Project. I remember now why I wanted you to come on so much, because I've really enjoyed our chat. Sorry?
Thank you for having me.
No, you're welcome. And let's keep in touch about the Lego at the very least, because if I might need some help, sort of trying to work out one of Sophie's future plans. Where can people find out more about you and 52 Lives?
The best place is the website 52-lives.org, and we're on most social media.
So that was some of our best snippets from 2019. We're going to have more of those next week. And should we get on with the end of the show?
Let's do it.
Now, 'tis the end.
'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la la.
'Tis the season to be jolly and the end of the podcast, but the end is never the end because we want it to last. Now we answer last week's question of the podcast quickly. That was the following question: what's the worst, best, and worst thing about being old? That was freestyle.
Yes, let me answer some of them in singing fashion.
Okay.
Give me a Christmas song. Christmas song, Papa?
The Christmas song. The Christmas song is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Okay, so Christy Mike says experiences and experiences.
This ain't gonna work,
No.
is it? No, this ain't gonna work. Christy said
I
experience and experiences. Jeff Hilliard said the best thing about getting older is getting given a seat on public transport. The worst thing is how long it takes to scroll to your year of birth on a folder.
Oh, I hate that. My year of birth has just dipped below the scroll, and it's so annoying.
Cheers, mate. My one's about 47 pages down. Steve from the gym, friend of the show. Steve from the gym said getting older and the hangover lasts longer. John Cook says getting served in pubs without fake ID. Worst, having to scroll forever on online forms to get your year of birth. He agrees with Jeff. And then he said, worst, your memory going. The best, I can't remember. Robbie White, nan of you, mother-in-law of me, and definite friend of the show, said the best thing is waking up every morning. Keep it positive, Robbie. The worst is aching bones and joint. I need to do it in a Scottish accent. Aching bones.
No, it's offensive.
Okay. And joints and slowing down. Richard Jones
Oh, that already happened to me. Am I getting old already?
said worse, grey hairs and recovery time when he goes out drinking. Best, the experience you have not to make the same mistakes you made when you were younger. Stuart Winder, always an optimist, friend of the show, said dying for both. It's good and bad. Oh, I'm sort of regretting having asked this now. Dunkirk. I trust Dawn to be positive.
Oh, Stuart's is my favourite.
The best is appreciating life, but the worst is watching others lose theirs. Yeah, I think that definitely applies, particularly in 2019 for me, Dawn. Simon Burke said best is being regular as clockwork and needing to use the loo at 6 a.m. The worst part, I don't get up till 7. Very good from Simon Burke. Well done. Heidi Ball, best, watching the kids grow into themselves and becoming their own people. And worst, seeing the kids grow up too darn fast. Heidi, tell me about it. I'm sitting opposite the girl that I remember as a tiny child, and she's now a fully
Starting
grown...
a pension.
She's a woman. She's starting a pension. She's a woman on a mission, starting a pension.
We're going to start a pension.
Tamsin Kane said, can't see anything, can't remember anything. I'm hoping that I'll have an excuse soon. And we had a couple on the Twitter.
This is a magical bird website.
The website of the magical communicating bird, where everybody
Our tiny blue messenger bird.
where everybody thinks it's okay to be offensive to each other, and
It's very true.
and also that you can, if you slightly disagree with somebody, they become your worst enemy. But also there's some nice people on there.
There is some nice
and
people.
David Lloyd, right? I want to tell you a little bit about David. David hosts a podcast, one of my favourite podcasts, with a man called Chris Budd. Now, Chris, we're going to be interviewing as one of our interviews next year. But David is a writer.
Yeah.
So he writes for the BBC. Okay? And David wrote one of my favourite kids' TV shows of all time.
What?
It's called Maid Marian and His Merry Men. If you haven't seen it, genuinely, Charlotte, it's hilarious. Have a look on YouTube.
Robin Hood.
Yeah, but this one, Maid Marian is the proper, like, it repaints the picture with Maid Marian as the legend and Robin Hood as a bit of a waster. So
bit of a chav, is he?
Well, he's not a chav. He's just a bit
Ditzy.
Yeah, he's a like Maid Marian's like the
He ain't
true
sharp.
hero. Yeah. So give it a watch. But it's got Tony Robinson from Blackadder in, and it's very Blackadder, very British humour, bit of Monty
Very
Python,
Blackadder-esque.
bit of Blackadder. So Dave, he's a legend in my opinion because he was involved in writing one of the funniest kids' TV shows of all time.
You're a legend, mate.
Dave
Don't
Lloyd.
ever forget it.
Dave Lloyd, you are an absolute legend, and he thinks best thing about getting old is learning more things, and the worst thing, forgetting them all.
What's this one right above it?
Well, Alam Ahmed just replied with a GIF saying, "I'm not old, I'm in my prime."
And it's a gif of a man,
with a guy with the most amazing beard ever.
but it's completely grey and he's got lots of wrinkles.
And on that note, my friends, that is podcast number 101. It's at an end. We'll see you next week.
Bye.